Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Wednesday. Bitcoin is down, the miners are down today, and it looks like we're having a little bit of a bearish setup right now on the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. So we'll take a look at that. Digihost obviously provided their numbers for January, so we'll look at that. Marathon also provided some news that they're going to be shutting down for a couple, well, maybe a day or two because of the cold blast coming down in Texas. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then we'll get into the details on Digihost as far as how much they've improved it from December to January. And we'll look at the numbers as well. So, as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. I'm invested in the following companies, so you can see that along with the coins. So let's take a look at Bitcoin here right now. And Bitcoin has obviously fallen down to a low of about 36,635. We reached this low here back on January 30th, so approximately 4 days ago, roughly. We've had a nice run up, and then we've traded sideways, obviously, for 2 days or so, 2 or 3 days, and we've come back down, obviously, here. So kind of have a little Bart Simpson hairdo here going on in the chart. And right now, if we look at it here, so I'm just going to draw some lines for you guys, kind of like what I'm looking at here. So basically, from where we are now to where we were previously here, just on the pretty close to that, we can see that we have a downtrend. RSI is basically flat almost, and we have a downtrend on the price, which leads me to think we're going to be in a little bit of a bearish pattern here going forward. So we could come back down a little bit more unless this reverses here in the next couple of hours. So something to be mindful of. We've obviously, in the long horizon, if we look at it all the way out here, we've obviously come way up here. If we look at the bottom here, we had a bottom here. The bottom here as well, we can see that we've had a nice run up here over the last week or so, almost 2 weeks. So I think the trend is still a little bullish going forward, but interim we may be a little bit bearish. We may come down a little bit to possibly test the lows here on right around 35,500 or so. So something to be mindful of. Ethereum is also down today. It's down to 2,700. It is kind of waking up a little bit, kind of like Bitcoin is. It waked obviously all the way down. So we've had, several days where we've had really good increases. So I think this could be just, profit taking a little bit in the market right now, especially with the way prices have gone up in the last week or so. If we look at Bitcoin here really quick, from the low that we, that we reached here a couple of days ago, and we go up on it. So let's zoom in on this. So we basically went up, where is it? We reached the low here, all the way to the top here, which was approximately almost 19% up. And we've only come down about 6% or so, 5% from the high right now. So still not bad. I don't think it's much to be concerned. Obviously, if we continue to fall below this line here, then obviously we got things to worry about. But right now, it's just a midterm bearish signal on the 1 hour chart at least. All right, so let's take a look at the miners themselves here. There we go. So Argo was down. Obviously, most of the miners were down today. Some of them are up in the after hours right now. But Argo was down 7.34% on the day. We've had 3 good days where we've been green. We obviously battled the 20-day moving average, and we came down off of it today, so it's at 94 cents. Then Bitfarms is down 6.67% to 364. It came close to touching the 20-day moving averages, but it fell back down along with Bitcoin and everything else. So this is going to be kind of a repeating pattern here. CleanSpark was down 7.19% to 671. Same thing, and touched the 20-day moving average and fell back down. So this could be kind of like a test here, but we're having it. We got Cores, obviously went down 6.56% to 926. It was touching the 200-day moving average, it looks like, on the chart, or came close to it, and it came back down to below the 20-day moving average, and it wicked up a little bit. And then we got Digihost, which we're going to talk about in a little bit here, was battling with the 50-day moving chart, or 50-day moving average on the chart, and it touched the 20-day moving average line here, and it wicked up over it, so that's a good sign. So it was down 3.63% to 398. DMG was down 7.17% to 44 cents, almost 45, and it has not come close to the 20-day moving average yet. Hive came down 6.64% to 197. It also came close to touching the 20-day moving average and came down. Hut 8 was down 6.02% to 609, and it is battling with the 20-day moving average on here. And then we got obviously Iris down 9.69%, and it is still above the 20-day moving average, which is good. So we'll see how this plays out. And we're having the beginning of the 50-day moving average show up here on the chart, so we'll see how this plays out. Came pretty close to touching that. And then we got Marathon. Marathon is at 2302. It was down 8% roughly, and it came close to 20-day moving average as well. Mawson was down 2.39% to 530. It is above the 20-day moving average, so that's good there. And then Riot was down 6.71% to 1557, and it is not, well, it's getting closer to the 20-day moving average, so we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, with the news that they are actually going to be shutting down for a little bit, that didn't help out either. So here's the story. Biggest Texas Bitcoin miner shuts down ahead of cold blast. So crypto miner Riot blockchain shut down most of its huge Bitcoin mining operation in Texas to conserve electricity as a wave of cold and ice deliver the biggest test of the state's power grid since last year's deadly blackouts. So on Tuesday morning, Riot gradually began to cut power to Bitcoin mining servers at the Winston facility located northeast of Austin. The company spokesperson Tristan Pfeiffer said by email, by Wednesday, the mine had cut energy use by roughly 98%, so pretty much almost fully shut down. Riot Chief Executive Officer Jason Less and Winston CEO Chid Harris told Governor Greg Abbott's office on Monday that they were preparing to shut down the Winston Bitcoin mining complex, the state's largest, ahead of the winter storm. Winston began taking proactive measures to prepare for shutting down its mining operations in response to any demand surges in ECROT, Pfeiffer said, referring to Grid Operator Electric Reliability Council of Texas. The mine uses enough electricity to power about 60,000 homes in the state. Yep, they do use a lot of electricity. One way ECROT can try to avert blackouts in a storm is by using its so-called demand response programs, where industrial users voluntarily agree to shut down to conserve power. The programs don't come free. The grid operators pay miners when they shut down. Don't know how much they're getting paid, but obviously they're going to get paid something for shutting down. In February 2021, as Winter Storm Uri triggered blackouts across the state, the Winston mine reduced electricity use or shut down completely for almost 8 days. Hopefully we won't have that this time around. The plant trims power use or shuts for as many as 275 hours per year as part of its participation in ECROT's programs. Bitcoin miners, which are flooding Texas because of the state's cheap electricity, have made participation in these programs a key talking point in lobbying Abbott to create incentives for their industry. The Texas Blockchain Council, the Bitcoin mining industry lobbying group, also contacted the governor's office with pledges to power down operations ahead of this week's freezes as needed. So Compute North, a Minnesota-based data center providing crypto mining services, said it's prepared to shut down an 11-megawatt Texas site to conserve power. Compute North could turn off the Texas center within 10 minutes. So I think Compute North does some of the data centers for Marathon. So Marathon's going to be shutting down as well because of that. What else do we have here? And that's basically it. So right now, yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out, how many days are going to be shut down. But obviously, that's going to affect their bottom line a little bit. We don't know how much they're making from the electricity company for shutting down, how much they're paying. We don't know that. So we'll adjust, obviously, the data that I have for them for being off 2 days, or we'll see how the temperatures go and things like that, maybe 3 days. Hopefully, we'll get an update on this to find out how long they've been shut down. All right. And then finally, obviously, we have Digihost reports their January production updates. So Digihost reports an 86% increase in year-over-year Bitcoin production and provides update on miners received and deployed. So year-over-year monthly comparison, the company mined approximately 62.58 BTC in January 2022, an increase of 28.88 BTC or 86% compared to January of 2021. Using the January 31, 2022 and January 31, 2021 closing BTC prices from CoinDesk, respectively, the value of the company's BTC mined in January 2022 increased by approximately 1.3 million, or approximately 116% compared to January 2021. Obviously, we've also had I think the prices, we'll have to look to see where the price of Bitcoin was last year around this time, but I think it was lower than where it is now. So production highlights for January 22. Bitcoin mined 62.58, increasing total holdings to 698.64 BTC, valued at approximately 26.9 million as of January, based on month-end BTC price of 38,500. Total Ethereum holdings of 1,000.89, valued at approximately 2.7 million as of January. Based on month-end Ethereum price of 2,650. So total digital currency inventory value consisting of BTC and Ethereum, approximately 29.6 million as of January 31. The company's current hash rate is approximately 415 petahash and is expected to increase to approximately 1.2 exahash by the end of Q1 2022, so within the next 2 months. So I believe in December they were at 415, so I'm kind of curious as to why they haven't installed any miners in the past month. They do provide some information that they did get miners in. I'm just trying to figure out what the holdup is there. Why haven't those been installed? So here, miner receipts and deployment update. As of January 31, 2022, the company has received approximately 9,000 technologically advanced high-performance M30 Bitcoin miners from its 2021 purchase order of 9,900 miners from Northern Data AG. The remaining miners from this order are expected to arrive at Digihost data center by the end of February 2022, so that's 900 miners. Digihost began initially deployment of the miners received in Q4, so that's what got them up to 415 petahash and expects to have them fully operational by the end of Q 2022. A portion of these miners was related to the company's miners lease agreement with Northern Data New York, pursuant to which the parties have agreed to split a portion of the mining rewards received and energy costs incurred for the miners put in service pursuant to the miner lease agreement. So I also would like to know how many of those miners are going to be split revenue, so that way we could know better as far as what to possibly have them at making for the months. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. There isn't anything else, so let's take a look at the data that I have on them, and we'll take a look at also Marathon, how that will affect their operations. Obviously, we don't know exactly how many miners they have installed yet in their facility for January. Hopefully, or not Marathon, Riot, sorry. So when Riot provides that, we'll have a better understanding as far as what they are mining into February as opposed to just January. All right. So here is Digihost. The information that I have on them right now, I have them at, I pretty much have them at fully installed here based on the information that they provided, that these miners here basically are going to be getting installed. I also had to increase the terahash on these to 102 because they're saying they're going to get to 1.2. I got them at 1.143 with everything being installed. So I don't know if I missed something. Let me know if you guys know of anything else that has been possibly reported as being bought to get them to the 1.2 exahash mark. Right now I'm pretty close. I'm off by basically 56.4 petahash on this. So that would represent possibly, what, like 50 new miners or something like that of the higher terahash. And then I have them basically installing in batches of these two miners here for February and March, and I have them basically mining 14 days here in February and then 15 days in March, since I've updated the number of days for each month so we get a better understanding of what they could possibly make. So that's why I'm showing right now that they are at total capacity pretty much 1.14 exahash. And then for January, I have them at 415, which coincides with these miners being installed here, which gives us approximately 4,780 miners installed right now. And they are at 415 petahash and making about 2.4 million right now. And Bitcoin price is at 36,981. This is when I did the math on this, or updated the information here. And we know that stock price is at 398 today. So we have all this information in. So by the end of Q1, they're going to be pretty much fully installed. So we'll see how this plays out. Things to look at here is, so based on the information that we do have, Bitcoin stays where it's at, hash rate stays where it's at, Bitcoin network hash rate stays where it's at. We're looking at them possibly making about 68.6 million for the year total. If nothing else changes here, obviously this is going to change a little bit. We'll see if they buy any new miners going forward. But basically, with that being said, at a price earnings multiple of 10 with 75% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at a stock price of approximately 1981. And the reason for that is because they do have very few shares out, only 26 million roughly shares outstanding. And then something that I've added here was The HODL analysis, so they obviously HODL 698 Bitcoins. That gives them a value of 32 million roughly. And then we're looking at the HODL to market cap is 31.23%. So each share is basically $1.24 in Bitcoin, valued roughly. So if we look at the market cap minus HODL position, we have obviously market cap here is 103 million. We have 71 million, and then ASIC value, once all these miners are installed, we're looking at possibly around 83 million. And I'm just using 7,000 for each miner if they were to resell it. Obviously, it's an average. It's not an exact price. That leaves us with basically negative 12 million of, how do I put this, of company value, basically, based on that. So way undervalued based on what they have here. Obviously, they're not the biggest miner here as far as what they're going to be hashing for the end of this year. But based on what they have and where they're going to be, way undervalued in my opinion. And based on this, we're seeing that they have basically a negative price to earnings, because if they make this, but I think they're going to probably end up making a little bit more depending on where Bitcoin is. Hash rate is going to increase obviously as well. So we'll see how this plays out. But right now, this is showing that they're way undervalued. I mean, it's not even taking into account any of their infrastructure that they have, buildings, electrical equipment, all that stuff. That's not even accounted for this. So it's really ridiculous that they're this low right now. They should be right now for the 3 prior quarters, and we'll see what obviously the fourth quarter is. Or the fourth quarter, we still don't know what they made. I'm guessing 6.7. So if we use Q2, Q3, Q4, and then for Q1 of 2022, we're looking at a total combined income of possibly 28.3 million. And then if we're using a price earnings multiple of 10, we're looking at basically $8.20 per share stock price to a low of maybe 547. So way undervalued in my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think of all this, obviously. And then if you have any updates as far as if any of this data here is wrong, I would love to hear it, just so I could get it more accurate, because I'm off by, like I said, by 50 petahash basically. All right, let's take a look at Riot here really quick. So if they shut down for 2 days in January, or not January, but February, right now we have them making, well, what is that, 15.6 million in January, or in February, sorry. And if we, what was that? I'm sure I remember that. 15.7, let's call it 15.7. Let's reduce that down to 26 days. And we'll see what the income would be then. So we had them at 15.7. That would basically $1 million less, roughly 1.2 million less in income for that. Plus, they're going to obviously make it on the electrical company paying them for shutting down for a little bit. So we'll see how this plays out. And then obviously we don't know where they are at right now at the end of January. So I'm sure that this number here will probably update if they reach higher than the 3.05 exahash they're at right now, which I'm guessing they'll probably be closer to maybe the 3.5, I'm guessing, with all the miners that they have that need to be installed here still. So we'll see how this plays out. But interesting to note. And then on the worst case chance, let's say that they go down for 8 days, we'll put them at 20 days mining. Let's take a look at how that will affect it. So we have been 15.7 regularly. If we lose 8 days, 15.7, we're looking at roughly 4.5 million less in revenue, just on that alone. So pretty big chunk of change there. Let's take that back to 28. And then obviously if they have more miners installed, that's obviously going to affect it as well, where that price is going to be more. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, Digihost, we're undervalued. They're basically negative value right now, where the stock is based on just having the miners, the HODL position, and not accounting for any of their infrastructure or anything like that. So way undervalued in my opinion. Hopefully things will turn around for them. Hopefully Bitcoin starts going back up and we'll get some appreciation in that as well. But that's it. Let me know what you guys thought. Love to read your guys' comments. Love to interact with you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. Means the world to me. Also, if you enjoyed these videos, please subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell. Helps me out tremendously. And that's all I ask of you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.